Welcome children. Take out your geography book. Chapter 10 India Human Resources. Today's topic Impact of Skilled Human Resources on the Socio-Economic Development. Skilled human resources add to the productive capacity and generation of income. Now, skilled human resources, what it does? It adds to the productive capacity and even the generation of income. This in turn enables solving the problem of poverty and improvement of the quality of life. Now, in turn, what happens? It solves the problem of poverty and improve the quality of life. The services that these people provide benefit the society. Now, the services that these people provide, as it benefits even the society. The farmers who grow crops with advanced technology are able to solve the problem of food insecurity and ensure food for all. Now, farmers who grow crops with advanced technology, they are able to solve the problem of food insecurity and even ensure food for all. The lawyers to provide justice for all and the police officers who maintains law and order are skilled human resources benefiting the society. Now, lawyers, what is the word? They give justice to all, and the police officers, what they do? They maintain laws and order, and they are all skilled human resources and all benefits the society. Educated citizens are able to influence their society and turn more people into human. Now, educated citizens, what they are able to do? They are able to influence the society and even turn more people into human resources. With improvement in the quality of people, there is a harmonious balance between each other. Now, when there is the improvement in the quality of people, there is some harmonious balance that is between each other. Gender and caste discrimination will also disappear. Now, gender and caste discrimination, what happens? These also get disappear. Each one respects the other, irrespective of caste, creed, and religion. Now, one respects other irrespective of caste, creed, and religion. This led to cultural growth and enrichment. What it leads to? It leads to cultural growth and even and enrichment. People are also conscious of a clean environment. Every educated citizen contributes towards the maintenance of a healthy environment. Now, people, they are very much conscious about the clean environment. Now, every educated citizen, what they do? They contribute towards the maintenance of the healthy environment. Human resources, due to higher degrees of skill and knowledge, end up earning high income. Now, human resources, what happens? They have high degrees. The human resources, due to the higher degrees of skill and even the knowledge, this end up the earning high income and even have a better standard of living. This brings rich turns to the country from its assessed population. And what it brings? It brings some rich turns to the country from its assessed population. The total income from the production of all goods and services in the country contributes to the now total income from the production of all the goods and services in the country, what it does? It contributes to the national income. Therefore, a bigger number of human resources ensure greater economic return, and so one bigger number of human resources, what it ensure? Some greater economic returns. So a large population is never a liability, and so a large population, it is never a liability. It is very much possible to turn them into an asset by investing in their education. Now, it is what? It is very possible to turn them into an asset by investing in their education and skill development. In India, the workforce does not have a lot of women due to lack of educational. Now, India, what happened? Workforce, what they do not have? They do not have a lot of women due to lack of educational opportunities. Mostly, women are found to leave their jobs due to child care or elder care, or if the career is not satisfying. Now, mostly what happens, it is seen that women, they leave their job because they had to take care of the child or the elders, or career if their career is not satisfying. The comparison of male-female working population in India can be seen in the graph. Now, human resources also modernize attitudes. A backward social system, primitive attitude and belief cannot go along with economic development. Now, human resources, what happened? They also modernize the attitude. A backward social system, primitive attitude and beliefs, it cannot go along with this economic development. Distribution of population in India. Population study is important for a country as the utilization of overutilization of resources is directly dependent on the size of Now, population study, what is it? It is very important for a country because the utilization or overutilization of resources, it is directly dependent on the size of population. The population of India is very unevenly. Now, population of India, what happens? It is very unevenly distributed. The majority of population dwells in plains and urban metropolis, and the rest in the resourceful regions of plateaus and fewer in mountain, deserts, island and forest. Now, population in India, it is not equally distributed because major population they live in the plains, urban and the urban metropolis, and the rest live in the resourceful regions, that is in the plateaus areas. Some lives in the mountainous, deserts, island and forested area. According to 2011 census, the highest percentage of population lives in Uttar Pradesh. Now, according to 2011 census, the highest population they lives in Uttar Pradesh, that is 16.49%. Then comes Maharashtra, that is 9.28%. After Maharashtra comes Bihar, that is 8.58%. Then after Bihar comes West Bengal, that is 7.55%. Half 50% of India's 1.34 billion population is spread only in 5 states. Now, half, that is 50% of India's 1.4 billion population, they are spread in 5 states, that is Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar, West Bengal and Madhya Pradesh. Population density refers to the average number of people living in the unit area. Now, population density, what does it refers to? It refers to the average number of people who lives in the unit area. According to 2011 census, India's population density is 382 persons per square. Now, see, 2011 census, if we go through 2011 census, what we will find? We will find that India's population density, that is 382 that means in 1 square kilometer India's population is 382 persons. That is quite higher than the world's average. India now this it is quite higher in the world's average. India is the world's second highest populated country after China. Now, China is the most populous country, and after China comes India. Favorable condition, good farming condition, ample water and plain land for the development of agriculture, industry, trade and transport are the conditions that support a higher density. Now, see, favorable conditions are found here, favorable climatic conditions are found here, good farming conditions are there, ample water are there, plain land for the development of agriculture is there, industries are there, trade and transports and the conditions, they support the higher density of population. Inaccessible areas of the mountains and the severely cold deserts and dearth of food and job opportunity force people to migrate to opportune area. Now, areas which are inaccessible, all the mountains, and too much cold climate and dearth of food and even job opportunity, this forces the people to migrate to opportune areas. Thus, we see scarce population density in the states of Sikkim, Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh and Andaman and Nicobar. Now, so what we see, there is very rare the population density in the states of Sikkim, Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh and Andaman and Nicobar. The higher density of population indicates better opportunities of health, education, job and better quality. Now, higher density of population, what does it indicate? That this is good opportunities of health, education, job and better quality of life. These characteristics are usually found in now these characteristics, where they are found in the urban areas. However, lower densities are indicative of lack of human resources building opportunity. Now, lower densities, what they are very indicative due to less human resources which build opportunity. These areas have poor living condition and lack of resource development. Now, these areas, what they have very poor living condition and there is less resource development and therefore are economically underdeveloped. And so this part, it is very economically underdeveloped region. Population is constant growing, and in order to study the changing population, it is important to refer to this component. Now, population density, what happens? It is growing constantly, and in order to study this changing population, what happens? It is very important to refer to this component. The Major component of population change or growth are as follows. Now, major components of population change and or the growth, these are as follows. That is crude birth rate. It is a major component of population growth. India shows a higher birth rate since 1951 till 2000. Now, it's very component. It is a very major. You can tell major component of population growth because India's higher birth rate. It shows the India's higher birth rate since 1951 till 2000. This is slow decline after now after 2000 there is a slow declination. Birth rate always trend to higher in developing countries. Birth rate always shows higher in developing country. According to 2011 census, birth rate is 20.97 by 1000 population in India. Now, according to 2011 census, birth rate that is 20.97 by 1000 population in India. Birth rate is not conducive to development. Now, birth rate, it is not conducive to development. Crude death rate. If the number of death per 1000 people in a year. Now, what is death rate? That means it is the number of death that is in a year per 1000 people in a year. Death rates are higher in developing countries due to poor healthcare facility. Now, in developing countries, death rate remains higher because of poor healthcare facilities. A declining death rate would increase the population, but a declining death rate, what happens? It increases the population growth. According to 2011 death rate in India, it is 7.48. Low death rate is indicative of higher life expectancy. Now, according to 2011 death rate in India, it is 7.48. That is lower death rate. It is indicative to higher life expectancy. This is common in most of the developed. Now, it is very common where in the most of the developed countries. Now, take out your diary, write chapter 10, India Human Resources, topic impact of skilled human resources on socio-economic development, and explain, homework, revise it. And with this, I am ending my today's class.